Last month, a man by the name of Shawn Curtis was caught on a nanny cam just doing this brutal home invasion. He was beating a mother in the house, this is in New Jersey, while a 3-year-old child was watching. And we're about to show you the video that caught all of this happening. This is another very, very graphic video, so keep that in mind before we take a look. So if you guys pay close attention, the child is sitting on the edge of the couch and he's just beating her. It's really difficult to watch. And then she said that she could not yell or scream because she didn't want to scare the kid. And she was worried that if she scared her child, then her child would react by screaming as well, and that the man would also attack the child.
Yeah. Now, he appeared in court, and apparently he's done this at least a dozen times before in terms of home invasions. And
he's been convicted 12 times on felony charges, but it's not all for home invasions. Several burglaries and also attempted murder.
Yeah.
Endangering the welfare of a child. So he has been convicted of felonies in the past. I don't know why this guy is still on the streets.
Yeah, and so that's the real question at hand here. Look, convicted 12 times. That means he probably did it a hell of a lot more than 12 times. And again, 12 different things, right? Only some of them were burglaries. But it doesn't matter. I mean, he's got a $750,000 bail. That makes sense. I mean, I don't think he's going to get anywhere near that kind of money. But
Well, during the arraignment, he pled not guilty. The incident took place on June 21st, and there were actually 2 kids in the house. The other kid was in a different room. But as I mentioned, there was a 3-year-old sitting on that couch watching the entire incident happen. The mother was later thrown down the stairs into the basement. And as I mentioned, he's been convicted of 12 crimes, some dating back to the 1990s.
So I don't agree with 3 strikes and you're out. You know, it's been applied horribly, etc. But this is among the reasons why people were in favor of 3 strikes. But there's got to be a fair medium balance here, where it's either 3 strikes where no use any kind of human judgment, you're done. If your last strike was you stole a slice of pizza, you know, you're going to go to get a life sentence, etc. Or we let a guy do this 12 different times, right? I mean, look at that video. I mean, I don't know. It's life sentence, I guess, is too harsh. Is it attempted murder? I don't know. Is that too harsh? I do know that I don't want that guy to get out for a long, long time, decades. And, you know, look, man, you look at that video and you realize there's, I mean, the most obvious thing in the world, but sometimes it's stark to see it. There's evil in the world, okay? And by evil, I don't mean goofy, you know, religious context and connotations, etc. Just mean there's some real bad guys in this world, man. And it's jarring to see it in action, which you don't normally see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to see this guy behind bars. And I mean, thankfully they had that nanny cam, they have that evidence. And by the way, he got arrested a week after the incident because his girlfriend turned him in. And I'm very happy that she did that. So hopefully justice will be served in this case. I feel horrible for this mother. She suffered from serious injuries, including a concussion, leg injury, bruises, and chipped teeth. She told reporters that she was afraid to cry out because if her daughter also screamed, she might be attacked too.
So listen, this is what made me a conservative when I was in law school. And, you know, because back then there were real liberals, right? They're not moderates like me, but real liberals. And we would get into, and then he's got all of his rights. That's part of the reason that I'm in favor of rights. Everybody knows that watches the show, right? Of course. But one of the things I always had questions about was the Miranda warnings, right? Because the Miranda warnings are not in the Constitution. It's an interpretation of the rights that we have in the Constitution. And I think, why give that guy he has a right to an attorney, but why tell him, hey, you can shut up now? I'd like to prosecute him. You know, to me, back in the day, and again, this is now an irrelevant conversation because liberals are run out of town. They have no power at all left anymore. But back in the day when they actually did have some degree of power, I felt like that oftentimes they would not ignore the victim, but they would concentrate too much on the defendant. What rights are we going to give the defendant? What can we do for the defendant? Defendant, defendant, defendant. Well, how about the poor mom who got viciously beat by this guy? How about we care about her too? You know, so But there's a good middle ground to be had, and letting this guy out 12 different times was not in that middle ground.